Now the copper trumpet. And so, after a silence of over 3,000 years, these two voices out of Egypt's glorious past have gone echoing across the world.
Black people are against you and need to repent, huh? It's a piece of paper, you can travel through the that bunk, but you can't even rest in ignorance because your entire existence is based off of what Chief Johnny Shabu L registered copyright trademark art. At least the parts you were able to absorb. So this song is dedicated to the brain dead fools, past, present, and future, mad. This is their predicament now. Y'all really want to stop Chief from ending the Matrix? So you're black, and you admit you're helplessly dependent on Master's Matrix. I know you had no idea that you were a black devil, but anyone who can't be around Chief is a black devil. Compare your life's work to his. All on the planet can see who is who. Canadian breakfast jokes are weaker than you. Only a domestic Negro would make fun of someone born into a different corporation. Fuck out of here.
Begin all things by first using the all. The physical disagreeables plan to plan, and the Natu plan to plan, and the Natu of ancient Tamaray, known as Egypt in English, are the best of planners.
Relation. Did you get the badge numbers for the police officers?
Yeah, I got their badge numbers off the video, and the EPS has the video because they said, "Do you have any video of what happened with the officers?" I said, "Yeah, Facebook Live." I gave them the link. It's in my complaint. I got an acknowledgement that it's filed online.
Kidnap the children and try to run for.
You want to stay home or you want to go back to the shelter in Calgary? Okay. And where do you want to stay? You want to stay in the shelter with Jeanette or you want to stay home with Ab? Okay. All right. So come here. I want you to tell the police here. Come tell the police. Tell them. Tell them. You want to go back home with Jeanette to the shelter or you want to stay with Ab?
Instead of the police.
New message sent by 40326315550. Hello?
You well. We're going to show them what it is. We're going to tell them what it is.
Elder patience and perseverance. I'm ready. You heard it out the mouth of the band. At the home with the average, where they want to stay. Nicole Nicholas is a ridiculous craze. Wrapped in a psychotic maniac bang. Kidnapper, abductor, distractor, obstructor. Child smuggler, hustler, tech mother chucker. Pacific rustler, traitor, disruptor. Perpetrator, liar, so you know you can't trust her. She's a hater, finagle, faker, enabler. The Everton law force embedded in, aided her in fiending, scheming, executional, screaming. Terry Miller, abduction. Famous are guilty of trafficking children, kidnapping, stealing. Double dealing with an agent that formerly laid 12 years dormant. Had a meltdown, flipped her lid, started performing. Transform into a Luciferian, Decepticon, wicked one. Committed genocide, the spiritual treason. Against the white Autochthons, indigenous nation. Simsalabim, Ashnem, elevation, calibration, vibration, dedication. Who we see a hacker in every location. The vision and pressure, underwater the foundation. Mental, spiritual, physical, lyrical. The borders were open on August 12th, visual. 2025 on Facebook Live. The right one, the right one, the right one. That's like edition, young Seymour's white Autochthons. All chiefs tending and presented on facts. Channel the child education act. Invoking the head convention, not convention. Look at the Mary Nicholas. Kidnap the children and try to run for the border. Look at the Mary Nicholas. Justice Kiss said she did not have me more in order. Edmonton, city of prison, EBS, you're done. You can't stand in the sun. Right, letters and 80s. 1170 plus breach violator.
Nicole T. Nicholas.
She's a gin.
The Edmonton Law Courts.
Guilty.
Yeah, I want the entire planet to see this bullshit here in Edmonton. Yes, I want the entire planet to see it. This woman is living in a shelter, didn't have leave.
To be in Calgary.
Doesn't have leave. This is Justice Kiss says she does not have leave.
Fraud.
She doesn't have a had to get permission. She had to have permission.
It's criminal.
I said, because you know Nicole is not going to tell nobody that the EPO was lifted. She ain't going to say nothing.
Find out the hard way.
She can't want answers. 26 facts. The chief's affidavit. And that's a fact, yeah. The reason she evaded. Cause her ass black.
Has no standing in law.
Oh well. Proof that I'm on the path, and we're on the path, and we're doing the agreeable white work. So with that, y'all, that's it for this. I'll see y'all in 7 days. Again, those who want to come on the webinar, 587-712-0639 or tamaray19@protonmail.com, and we're gonna get finished with our theme music. White is right.
No, you're not. No, you're not. You're a black Negro. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're a black Negro. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're a black Negro.
Foolish, ghoulish.
As soon as I get that check from the child tax credit, it's like,
Foolish,
say, think what you want to think, you know? Think what you want to think. It's like,
the bag, the bag, the bag, the bag.
Timtab, Dur Kulshai, Wat be Wasamus Pa Timtab. Rawadila entity, Nachlan Jawahed. Welcome everyone to White Autochthon News Network, episode 24. Greetings, everyone. Trust that everyone has been all white for the past 7 days. So bringing everyone up to speed on what's currently happening. Currently, I'm just going to share my screen here. And again, if you want, you can call in because we're streaming through Facebook. So Facebook obviously, like the numbers, they realized when they kicked me out and I went to YouTube, they didn't want all that data going to YouTube. So now they turned around. They turn around and now allow me to come back on Facebook. They know what it is. Symbiotic relationship. And they're getting an advantage of it. Don't worry, we're going to get into the data selling aspect in due course. So this was an email which I was shocked at that I got yesterday at 9:20 a.m. from the Edmonton Law Courts. This is Court of Queen's Bench or King's Bench. I know they're too cheap to because QB was Queen's Bench. That's when Elizabeth was on the throne. But since she's gone and it's Charles, it should be KBRC, but they just left it there because it's going to cost too much money, right, to change everything. Why don't they just go ahead and do it that way? They can afford it. They supposedly own most of the land on the planet. Why can't you could afford it? No, they're too cheapskate. Or the Rothschilds told them no. That wasn't cost effective. For those that don't know, the so-called royal family, they're not royal. You can't be royal when your genes are defective and recessive. they have a contract with the Rothschilds, and in exchange for the money that they have, the Rothschilds have the right to breed them. So the Battenberg, the Saxe-Coburg-Gotha family, they are being used by the Rothschilds for the purpose of breeding the Battenberg, Saxe-Coburg-Gotha family. So they're using their Rothschilds are using their genes. So this is what I got. Good morning. Your resolution council file is closed, and resolution council's involvement in your matter is concluded. Now, I told them this. I did not agree to have the meeting on the 16th. They forced me to do it. I said, okay, good. Now I'll go expose everybody, which I did. Resolution council do not offer continuing assistance to parties. Resolution council cannot provide legal advice. Accordingly, please do not include our office on communication between you in relation to your matter. Thank you. Now you all want out. And see, when they sign and the font is really tiny, I interpret that as a whisper, like they have to say something, but they want out. Now, this is the effect. Now we're going to go to the cause. Here is the cause, December 22nd, 2025 at 9:18 a.m. Greetings, Kevin. This is Nicole's attorney. I reviewed disclosure 4 days ago from Edmonton Crown Prosecutor's Office, which included Nicole's September 4th, 2025 Edmonton Police Service Witness Statement form. That statement lists a false father's name and does not identify me. See the attached Alberta Vital Statistics birth registration confirming my legal identity as the father. I do not know if you are aware, your client submitted false identifying information to Edmonton Police Service on September 4th, 2025, while omitting she was driving a Mazda CX-5 unregistered and uninsured due to stop payment on the policy August 29, 2025. This was not disclosed in the police complaint. This revelation is material facts that go directly to reliability, decision-making, and risk concerning the children. I would like to know, 1, whether your client acknowledges submitting incorrect and false identity information to the police. 2, whether she acknowledges the vehicle was unregistered and uninsured at the time. 3, how she intends to address the safety, credibility, and co-parenting implications created by these facts going forward. This now materially affects trust, credibility, and co-parenting viability going forward. I would like an indication as to how your client intends to address the credibility and safety implications created by this. I attached scans of the car registration and insurance policy, the September 4th police complaint, and Alberta Vital Statistics birth certificate of Empress Ale with Nicole's and my name on it, issued on April 10th, 2019, and screenshot of Nicole's Indigenous name, Sa Aset Taweret, interview on Global News Edmonton is attached with this email. Given what parenting after separation emphasizes regarding honesty, safety, and trust in co-parenting, this materially affects confidence and trust in future cooperation and credibility. I will also be filing these documents with the court as they materially affect matters before January. I look forward to your response. Nanya Ale, all Indigenous rights reserved. So they ended up getting, is this not in this one? Okay, it's not in this one, the previous one. I'll just pull it up for you all real quick. So this is the point. When these public officials go to bat for someone they know is lying, this is the effect. This is what happens. All of this has to come out now into the public. They don't get to play this box game and put it in the box. And we know somewhere out on Facebook, Nicole is sitting there watching all of this. and she should be watching it because the ancestors are telling her she can't hide. And those corporations that she's using to hide behind, they're gonna step to the side. Let's see here. I think this might be it. No, not that one. Oh, okay, yeah, that's the one that's 22nd. Okay, this is it here. So this is the original that I sent. So as you could see, the Queen's bench was here. This is the King's bench. What's it? RC, or Resolution Council. So like an attorney. So when we scroll down here, you're gonna see these are all the documents here. Give me 1 second, everyone. Just want to check something here. There we go. Cha, come on now. Okay, yeah, and then this one here and this one here. All right, just gonna download this one here. There we go. Give me 1 second. Oh boy, what happened here? Hold on. Now it's pausing. Yeah, it's just freezing for a second here. There we go. I see. This is just a highlight. Yeah, my computer's running they know what I'm about to do. My computer's running a little slow here. There we go. There we go. Okay, let me open up my paintbrush. And then we're going to get into, there we go. All right, so I'm going to do this here. There we go. So that's this one. And then I have the other document, which is, and for those of you that came in, anyone who wants to call, feel free to go ahead and call in. As they say, the more the merrier. Because all this does is just confirm that use of the communication just changes the whole outlook, as they would say in quantum physics. All right. All right, so now let's go here. We'll start off with the police report. Welcome to those of you that came in. And again, anyone put your questions in the chat on Zoom, or if you are on Facebook, go right ahead and put your questions in the chat. All right, so we're going to go here real quick. So this was the police report. And this is why we're publishing this. There's some videos when we get to the news items, you'll see that everything is fast approaching being integrated. That public officials can no longer just say, well, we don't take social networking posts as evidence. Not anymore. You can't do it. The computers are already on their phone, taking your data and selling your data. So I don't see the police going after Google or Facebook, Meta, or Instagram, or YouTube. They're not going after none of those tech companies. So that tells you they're not in law enforcement. They are code enforcers, not law enforcement. So this is where Nicole said, I picked up my Sun Majesty Ale. I parked my Mazda on the street. I returned at 11:35. Now, this is, and when you look at the date here, hold on, what's going on here? Okay. When you look at the date here, 2025, September 4th, how time is flying. And this is her complaint. I picked up my Sun Majesty Ale from Kihiwan. I parked my Mazda on the street. I returned with Majesty at 11:35 a.m. and the car was gone. All right, so everybody's with me. Now we're going to switch over here and we're going to go back over to this document. And what do we see here? We see this is a registration for a Mazda CX-5. Everybody see that? 2015. And we see vehicle status active, expiry date, year, month, day, 2025-08-31. Here, let me zoom in so make sure everyone can see. All right, so you see that. If you see it, put 2 in the chat. So now we see who's the name and address of the registrant. Ale Nanya Shabu. What does that mean? For those that know, type in the chat. So this is name and address of the registrant. Now, let us, for the sake of being objective, what does registrant definition? Legal, let's see what that is. Legal definition of registrant. A registrant is an individual, published August 9th, 2025. A registrant is an individual or entity officially recorded or listed in a register, database, or official record. This registration typically secures a right, privilege, or recognition under the law. So that means when we go back, let's make sure everyone can see what I'm looking at. Good. So when we go back here, this means what? Oh, pardon me. We got to go to the other one. When we go back here, this means that the name and address of the registrant of the CX-5 is me. That means who owns it? I do. That means whose car is this? So for those that know, put in the chat. This is interactive. This is not couch surfing, couch potato. Nitanafu, I see it, and a witness. Iyanifa, that she lied on this statement in regards to being the registered owner of this vehicle. Correct, Iyanifa. Yuhuel, Tua, the car is registered in your name. It is your car. So her lawyer has this. This is why I have no problem blasting them, because you a lawyer, you law enforcement. Okay, so what is this? What does this mean here? This means it's my car. So how does she get the car? Oh, who's on the insurance policy? Ale, Nanya, and Nicholas Nicole. Uh-oh. But over here, now we're going to swing back to her complaint. She put a false name. That's why, and the reason why it's whited out is because the justice in that case in Provincial Court of Alberta told the clerk to strike all reference to that name, and it is not to be dealt with at all. No mention of it. Why? They asked me for my for the driver's license of Alberta, presented that to them. Then on the 19th of December, I showed the registration. And this is the registration. So this is the registration for our daughter. So let's look at this. September 4th, 2018 is when she was born. Registration date, January 25th, 2019. Date issued, April 10th, 2019. Name of parent, Nicholas Nicole. Name of parent, Ale Nanya Shabu. Uh-oh. And then here's my birth certificate, Ale Nanya Shabu. Place of birth, Edmonton. Uh-oh. What does this mean? When we go back to her police report, the car was gone. But you forgot something. The car's registration was expired. As of when? August 31st. 2 days after we were in front of Justice Mandiuk. Is everybody getting this? What this means? She don't have no title, right title or interest to the car. None. Aferti, Tua, it belongs to you. Edom Duba, your car. She lied. Hathlapoi, it's Maku. So I only found this out like a few weeks ago. So now when we go back to the email, right, because here's what it says on the police form. It is unlawful to make a false report to the police. So when we see this right here, see if we could get a highlight. There we go. Right here, it's unlawful to make a false report to the police. Everybody seeing that? So what did she just do? Put it in the chat. See, the more that you all put in the chat, because we know they're watching, this is going to show, it's going to embarrass them, number one. Number two, it's going to show they're not even following their own statute. So they are a cartel. So how did the police not check the registration on the car to find out that the car is mine, in my name? How they not know that? They were supposed to tell her to return the car to me. That's what they were supposed to do. So that's a false police report. Point blank. Don't need to wait to go in front of a judge to say none of that. Put this out into the public like what we're doing. It's going to be an embarrassment. Any other time, they'd have said no. I dare say they would have charged her for driving the car with no insurance and registration with children in it. So the evidence is right here. But they keep having the police professional standards branch for the EPS calling me because I said I'm escalating it for the officers that came here. And so they were like, well, this isn't resolved. I said, I told you how it's going to get resolved. You guys got to question her and then charge her. And if you're not going to do it, then there's no point, because the only reason they came out here was because of her filing a complaint. Had she not done that, we wouldn't be talking. So that's the phone call I got. I think it was Wednesday. So now this leads to the next point. Global News Edmonton. We were at a vegetarian restaurant downtown. Very good vegetarian restaurant. And this was while our daughter was in the premature ICU called the NICU. So we decided to go there to eat, blow off some, stress, etc. And that's when Global News Edmonton came in. So as you see here, what do you all see? It says Sa Aset Taweret. Now, why did she give this indigenous appellation to the news? Why didn't she say Nicole Nicholas? Because she didn't want to be associated with the debtors. Everybody getting this? Nitter Nafu, she made a false report. Yuhuel, Nicole lied and filed a false report. EPS aided and abetted her lie. Ianifa, false police report. It also says they will prosecute anyone in these type of cases. Yes, and that's what I told Sergeant Todd that he has to do. I said, you know what you got to do? You got to charge her. Now that when we spoke, I didn't know about the report, Ianifa. We didn't know about that. That only came out a few weeks ago. So when I saw that, I said, that's why when I was recording her, she kept turning her head and turning her face because she knew she had already done this back in September. I didn't get the children until October 17th and hadn't seen them since August 9th. Or no, August 7th. So you're looking at 60 days, it was 71 days total of not seeing the children. So as you can see here, she's calling herself Sa'aset Taweret. Now she got to explain that when we go up in the vessel, because she's going to get cross-examined. They're going to give me a lawyer just for the purposes of cross-examining Nicole. Now, how does she, y'all are free to comment, how can she now explain and say Sa'aset Taweret on Global News Edmonton, but then on the police report, she's saying she's Nicole Nicholas? Is everybody seeing this contradiction here? Affairty, Nicole Nicholas manipulated and deceived the EPO in her dishonor. Yes, she did. Haklapoya, she willingly gave a false statement. Yes, that was to throw everybody off of the fact that the car was not insured and registered. It's right here. She put it down like she is incriminating herself in her own handwriting. I picked up my son from Kahiwan today around 11:28 a.m. I parked my Mazda CX-5 on the 2015 on the street. She was real specific about that, wasn't she? The year. I returned with majesty at 11:35 a.m. and the car was gone. Blank is the only one with another set of keys who lives within walking distance, stalked and waited for school to let out and took the car. No, the EPO says I could go to the school. He also came to Empress's school to attempting to see her and give her a birthday gift. The school told him school started and the policy is they are not to be interrupted. Blank is aware of the conditions of the EPO and continues to violate them 6 times total. No, by the time September 4th rolled around, Nicole was at least at 135 breaches because she used the cell phone, which is my cell phone, 587-501-7262. So as everyone can see here, this was her police statement. And we see her police statement doesn't match up with the registrations of birth. And it doesn't match up no registrations of birth doesn't match up at all. Got her name there. Her name right over here. So she just committed fraud. And this is what I was just saying, just off of intuition. I didn't have the facts. Now here's the evidence. So going back now to the email. So her lawyer has this, and her lawyer also has the registration. So as you all can see here, and this was sent on the 22nd. So this is going to come up. Now, we recall in Atsakata, she said she's indigenous. She's standing on her indigenousness. She ain't filed nothing about being indigenous in none of these court cases. So when they see this picture here, they're going to be like, what? Oh, they're going to say this is a pathological liar, but we know better. This is a congenital liar. Because they're going to say, why did you tell Global News Edmonton your name is Sa'aset Taweret? Isn't that fraud now? Wouldn't that be fraud? And then, let's not forget, the crowning this is the Royal Alberta Museum Indigenous. Got a surprise for some of y'all. Let's see here. Tickets, or let me do search. They have an Aboriginal section. That's the term they use up here. Let me see if I can find it here. Okay, let me try Indigenous then. Indigenous language apps. Indigenous engagement. Let's see. I'm just going to see if I can find it here. Because they have an indigenous exhibits. Syria collection. Let me go into collections. Let's see if this is it here. Repatriating, blah, blah, blah. That's indigenous engagement. Earth sciences. Yeah, because there's a picture of her. About, okay. Media room. About. Well, this isn't really user friendly, I see. Like they have different media room, new museum. Yeah. Medium coverage. So let's see here. Somerset Royal Alberta Museum. Oh. Yeah, museum. I'm looking at the picture images. Let me see what they're gonna do here. If they're gonna hide it. So it doesn't look like it. It looks like they covered it up here. This is the spot here. This is where there was the picture with Nicole and Uteti. So what I'm gonna do is go to Facebook and put that in the search. Royal Alberta Museum. Because the last we checked, there you go, right there, Human History Hall. There it is, still there. Yeah, I'm gonna put it in the chat for everybody. For those that don't have it, that have never seen this picture before. We went to Family Day at the Royal Alberta Museum. And so we had to sign waivers, and they took pictures of us. Empress wasn't on her best of, she wasn't photogenically, she wasn't about pictures that day. She wanted a day off from the paparazzi. So she wasn't up to taking pictures. And as you can see here, to this day, it's still there. Human History Hall. And there's Uteti, right? So I hope all the public officials realize, like, listen, this is international. This ain't domestic. This is her right there, right? She don't even wear, she threw this out. She threw the talisman out. Ancestral lands. For thousands of years, indigenous people have lived in all parts of Alberta. Explore their ancient lifestyles on a journey through time over an immense landscape. Discover how indigenous people maintain strong connections with significant places and stories of their past. And my son and her are on, look at this. They know we're indigenous. So yeah, take pictures, keep copies, print it off. It's still up after all this drama going on. It's still there. They ain't changed it. So now she said this, then she's, where's that picture here? Right there, human histories. Let's see, do they got a timestamp right now? Because sometimes on the websites they'll do an actual timestamp to show that when you were on it. So she got a lot of explaining to do. So her lawyer has it, her lawyer's assistant has it, Nicole has it. Let's see what we got here. Nichunafu, I remember this picture, Maku. Yes. Haklapoetua. Nichunafu, Nicole Nicholas pulled a cipher like the character in the movie The Matrix. Yep. Haklapoe, fraud. Edom Duda, fraudulent. Yuhu L. Nicole, the kidnapper Nicholas, is a congenital liar, period. She is a criminal and has to be charged. Tua, fraud. Aferti, the principal Tim Patcow is guilty of human trafficking. Hathapoya, premeditated. Aferti, Tua. Hathapoya, she willingly gave a false statement. Tua. Aferti, yeah. Nicole Nicholas manipulated and deceived the EPO in her dishonor. So now, how do they explain this picture here? So if they say she's Nicole Nicholas, this picture is false. This is a fraudulent picture. Does everybody get what I'm saying? If she's saying she's Nicole Nicholas, this picture on the RAM, they got to take it down then. Because this picture over here, she says saw a set. She didn't put Nicole Nicholas here. So everyone could see the contradiction. So are you indigenous or not? That's the number one question that any real lawyer is going to ask her. Are you indigenous? Because your picture's on the Royal Alberta Museum. Today is the 3rd of January on the Gregorian calendar, 2026. And today is the 80th year, 11th month, 2nd day. So 80-11-2 on our Yamasic calendar. So when they find out that she was at the RAM and her picture is in the Human History Hall for the Royal Alberta Museum, and then she's saying here she saw, but then she's turning around and she's lying on a police report and giving a false name of the Father of Majesty, she ain't got no credibility, no debitability, no integrity, no honesty. That's why I feel no way about exposing this, because they got to come with facts. This is their document. I got this from the Crown Attorney's Office. They gave this to me. So if they got a problem with it, hey, all this is incriminating her. It ain't nothing incriminating me. This is her. Again, I'm going to emphasize, and this is why we're repetitive. This is her report. And she said, she admitted she was driving the car with no registration and no insurance. How do we know this? Because when we go here and we go back to the registration in the province of Alberta, here's the name and address of the registrant. And the expiration of the registration was on August 31st. Let me change the color in case it's blending in too much. There we go. So right there. So she basically admitted that she's driving a car with children in it with no insurance and registration. And they want to breach me for that. And I'm like, good. Now she got to talk. That was their mistake. She got to talk now, unless the Crown decides to not pursue. That's the only other way. Other than that, she's going to get talked. They're going to talk to her. She's going to get cross-examined. And she's going to perjure herself in 15 seconds. Easy peasy. So that's what's new that's coming up. So the professional standards is upgrading my complaint that I filed against EPS for coming here on the 19th. That's going to somebody else. That person is going to get in touch with me. Then we have the family focus protocol that they're doing now that they just started yesterday. So that is going to be involving having to go in front of a justice. And by doing that, Nicole's going to have to answer the questions based on what has been filed. Those of you that just came in, greetings. Don't hesitate. If you want to make a phone call, go right ahead. You can call me 587-712-0639. Nichunafu, that's right, Malku. It's all her. She is the one that's in dishonor, period. She caused all this. Cause and effect. That's Tahuti. That's the sacred wisdom of Tahuti. She put that energy out there. The energy is coming back to her. And as it comes back to her, she's having a difficult time dealing with it because she's going to have to explain herself. And she's going to perjure herself. That's a fact. She ain't going to last 15 seconds on this. She ain't going to last no 30 minutes on no bench, 10 minutes under cross-examination. They're just going to be adding up all the contradictions. All right. So any questions on this, please go right ahead. If not, we'll move on to some articles because we got some excellent articles which tie in to what has been happening now with what I just spoke. Let's see here. Oh, wrong one. There we go. Yeah, some excellent articles that I want to share with everyone. Excellent news articles. Let's see here. Oh, yeah. Crowded land border. Okay, lazy intellectuals. Okay, let's start off with, what's this one here? Okay, we did that glitch last time. And we did that China and Japan had black kings and dark skin. I think we did that. Oh, December 25th. Oh, okay, so that's fresh. Yeah, because I did that. Yeah, we did that on the Saturday. I remember playing that one. Okay, so we'll start off with the portals.
What the fuck is that?
Holy shit.
Told you we opened portals up. We did ritual on the city of Edmonton. So don't know where this location is, but that's a portal.
What the fuck is that?
Two of them.
Holy shit.
And they're big ones.
What the?
Wish I knew what city it was. And then, so that's that article I wanted to share with everyone. Any questions, please put them in the chat. If you're on Facebook, let me just go back to if there's anyone on Facebook, because I know there'll be people watching from Facebook. So I want to make sure that if you put questions in there that they're not being ignored. Okay, live. Okay, hold on. I got to go to let me go to my page and then I can pull up my live one time. Okay. And then, so that's that article. And I can pull up my live. Okay, hold on a second. All right, Cardiff to okay, let's go. Okay, Cardiff Alexander. It was expired. It was expired, and she was still driving with the children, putting them at risk. Yes, giving you a thumbs up for that. Anu Maku's automobile. Tauhad Anu. UL Tua. Oh, better call Plenty's is your car. Great White. Cardiff Tua. Anu. She's obviously trying to side with the system. Well, she used that complaint, Anu, as a distraction. So they'd focus on me and forget the fact that the car was, the registration expired. Like that's past 4 days. So from the 31st, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th. And then when I took the car back, then what happened? She leaves the city. Why would you leave Edmonton, go to Calgary if the car is yours? Shouldn't you stay? No, because she had no way to get the children to school. So her handlers, EPS, the shelter said, okay, we're going to get you to Calgary and get you out the city. And if they asked her about that, that's why they probably told her she had to leave, because they didn't know that the registration, the police knew that. They could look her driver's license up. He knew that car, there was no registration on that car. She couldn't, there was no way they were supposed to stop her, stop her, charge her, tell her, return the children to the husband because the father's stable. You're not. Instead, they let her keep the children. Now it's come out where the whole world, LinkedIn, X.com, Facebook, YouTube, everybody can see it. Now, what do the Edmonton public officials got to say? Can't say nothing because you open your mouth. This video has to be evidence. And then when people hear that the police knew this and still let it happen, no, that's it. Trust is gone out the window. UL, Nicole, the kidnapper, Nicholas filed a false police report and EPS guilty. Signed off on it. Yes, they did. UL, Tua, a congenital liar, fraud, Cardiff, Tua, Guadalupe, Rawad, Autochthons, Hashikadur, Awabana, Tua, all white. So let me just do this, and then I'll go back one time and swing back to where we were at. Okay. And then, so that's that article, and I can pull up my live. Okay, hold on a second. Let's see here. All right, Cardiff, Tua. Oh, okay, let's go. Okay, Cardiff Alexander. It was expired. It was expired, and she was still alive. Okay, hold on a second. Let's see here. All right, Cardiff Tua. Oh, okay, let's go. Okay, Cardiff. Let's see. Cardiff Alexander. It was expired. It was expired, and she was still alive. Okay, hold on a second. Let's see here. All right, Cardiff Tua. Oh, okay, let's go. Okay, Cardiff. Let's see. Cardiff Alexander. It was expired. It was expired, and she was. There we go. Great. So I just want to leave the sound on there. So now that's good there, and we're going to go back to our articles here. So we did this one here, and we're going to go back to Telegram. Okay, this is another one. This is the Bigfoot.
I should have seen. See you, buddy. It's okay. See what I'm saying? See you, buddy. It's okay.
You talking about see you, buddy? Who you, Gilgamesh? He got himself up there. He certainly can get himself down. Let's see here. Orlando Brown, how he wants to be remembered.
If you knew where you would end up today, would you still have made the same decisions?
Nobody knows where they're gonna end up, my brother. That's the point of life. That's the fun. That's the fun part of life. The fun part of the life is you never know when you get on a plane if you're gonna land.
Do you think it could have ended in a throughway?
I know it will end my way, but my way is because I understand that it's not my way. I understand that I've asked for a way to be given to me, and that's God's way. Everyone wants their way. That's the problem with this place, Earth. Everyone wants their way. They don't want to wait for what God has for them. They don't want to wait. They want it now, you know. It's just like, I don't have time to wait for things now. I'll wait. I'd rather wait. That's why I'm not bent over couches. I'm chill, nigga. The fuck is going on there?
If you knew.
True words spoken there. And the next one, let's see here. Oh gosh, you all gonna love this. Okay, now this is important because I had sent an email when my third ex parte was blocked by the Edmonton law courts. And that's when I wrote them back and said, you guys are doing I see you running that, you're doing everything to protect that child trafficking ring that you're running out of that courthouse. I said, you're doing an excellent job of protecting Nicole. I said, but she's going to have to speak in front of a judge. I said, that is inevitable. But go ahead, keep resisting. And I said, I'll use this email that I emailed the courts. So I told Edmonton law courts, I know you're running a child trafficking ring. They ain't said nothing, not even an insult to say, you shouldn't, this is harassment and this is, nope. They know they can't say nothing. I had an ex parte that I sent it in, and it was 9 days before they responded, and then denied it on the 9th day. And this had to deal with Nicole losing her wallet, which I gave back to her on the 7th of December. So let's check this out. You have this is the former head of the FBI telling you that they are Satanists that are in government offices. They are in they're in government, they're in police, they're in all sorts of authoritarian positions. That's not a joke, it's real. That's why if you get that book, An Age for Lucifer by Robert C. Tucker, or you get the book called Luciferian Conspiracy by Malachi Z. York L., it'll tell you where I'm at is the seat of the Illuminati. This is where I'm at. So there's something else going on, bright, because that's why the province is called Alberta, the bright. Something else is going on. So check this out.
Satanic cults. What's going on with these satanic cults? What's going on with these satanic cults?
Well, many of these people are multi-generational, meaning they were born into it. And once they're born into it, they have secret meetings, of course. and they worship Satan. They have human sacrifices, and they even sacrifice their own sometimes. They have what they call breeders. These are women who are especially impregnated so they can use the children or the fetus that are born for their human sacrifices. And based on my research, there's about 4 million plus practicing Satanists in America today, about 1.5% of the population. I derived that figure from a confidential source in the South Bay area of Los Angeles, where there's about 200,000 people. And I was told by an informant that there's about 3,000 in that area. Lincoln, Nebraska, about 200,000. I was told about 3,000 there by second source. Third source, Iowa City, Iowa, 100,000 population. I was told there's about 1,500 there. So if you project that figure, you're looking at 1.5% of the population of the United States. And they are involved in, according to another 3 different sources also, there's 50 to 60,000 human sacrifices per year in this country.
Okay, but the question that people will tell you is, where do these human beings come from? Because obviously, you know,
well,
they have to be accounted.
First of all, they've infiltrated law enforcement. They've infiltrated prosecutors' offices. They've infiltrated the judicial system. They've infiltrated across the board our basic elements. They've infiltrated virtually every level of our society. So what happens is, first of all, they have their secret meetings. They often have, oftentimes they're in underground. They have underground compartments in their home, chambers in their home, and it's all private. Nobody knows about it. And and then they dispose of the bodies through different means. They're experts at covering up their tracks. I've heard of them even putting them in vats with acid in them.
So now, when we hear about like thousands of missing children going missing in this country every year, where do they go?
First of all, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, which is an adjunct of the U.S. Department of Justice, and if you go to their website, the last time I checked it, they said there are 91 Americans disappear every hour in this country. It is estimated 85-90% are children. If you project that figure, talking about several 100,000 children a year disappear in America. And these children are being kidnapped off the streets, and I have documentation that an organization known as the Finders out of Washington, D.C., has, since the early 1960s, been actively involved in kidnapping children off the street. Okay. Now, unfortunately, as a result of some of my research, I learned through a U.S. Customs Treasury Department report that the Finders is a CIA covert operation.
So why do they want these kids? What do they do?
The kids are auctioned off. I talked to one of my sources, told me he's attended 6 auctions where kids were being auctioned off. He was part of the network, and there were as few as 6 and as many as 36 children that were auctioned off. They were each auctioned off for up to $50,000 each. The children are ages 2 to 21, boys and girls. They put a label, a number around their neck, tie a string around their neck and put a card with a number on it. They bid, they put them up on a stage, they bid on the number. The kids come out, they put them in an airplane. There's one base there's a small field about 50 miles out of Las Vegas, Nevada, which is where some of the auctions are taking place. Put them on an airplane, kids leave, they disappear. Then the kids are all doped up, of course. They put them in campers. The kids are, once they're in the camper, they dope them up, they're sleeping. If the police stop them, they say, my kid's asleep, leave them alone, and all that sort of thing. And they use these kids for sex slaves, they use them for body parts, and they use them for their sacrifices.
All right. What's going on with these?
So, call a spade a spade. This is the former head of the FBI said they've infiltrated every level of society. So it's not a stretch to say which one of you Satanists is up on the bench. So now you got to speak like that. Which one of y'all worship the devil that's in a gown that is a public official? Because now we're pulling down the drapes. We're pulling down the, what do you call it? As Yoda would say, the shroud. We're pulling down the what's his name? The guy from the guy behind the curtain. We're pulling the curtains down. We're pulling everything down. That's the only way that it can be done. If someone could pull up supplication 25 and either put it in the chat. That'd be greatly appreciated. So let's continue on. Yeah, that was a hot article. Oh gosh, that article was hot. I said I had to share that with everybody. Okay, this one here. Okay, yeah, this is with the Bobby Hemmett. Okay, the elites hate children is actually a form of fear. These warlocks, let me get my pointer, fear the fact that children have fully decalcified pineal glands, which gives them natural universal awareness and abilities like telekinesis. Most children are still partially linked to spiritual realms that exist all around us. They're much more capable of viewing and interacting with souls that most adults can't see with the physical eye. Tua?
Tati is watching Peppa Pig feelings.
Okay, Pepper. Hey, no Peppa Pig. Tati. Kunda. Omoberry. Tahum. Tawahat. This is why we're told to put 5-year-old children through 12 years of school, because the elites have to infect the children's minds with modern pseudoscience, false history, as well as media, political, and religious indoctrination. We're told to teach our children what's possible and what's not. So after 10 years of miseducation and indoctrination, most children end up losing their God consciousness at the age of 14 or 15. The more childlike our hearts become, the more likely we are to escape this matrix after our souls transition. Our ancestors knew this. That's why they spent over half of their lives preparing for the afterlife. They were fully aware of the soul's journey after it left the material realm, and many ancestors actually considered this process to be fun. Hence the word funeral. When they knew someone lived a righteous life, they embraced the fact that the soul had an opportunity to leave the material matrix. Today's humans conduct themselves in the opposite manner. They're deceived into falling in love with the material and disregarding the fact that we're light beings and deities having a human experience. Telekinesis is one of the bases of many natural psychokinetic abilities that are based on controlling/manipulating matter and can evolve to the point that you can control anything at a subatomic, particle, and universal level. We can naturally strengthen this ability through deep meditation, mental discipline, visualizing the matter and energy that flows through you, and the matrix. See the boundaries between you and outside objects fade away. Realize that you and the object are one system, seeing it moving as you intended with your mind's eye.
Like a human. Stop thinking like a human. You're more than human. And you are God.
What the fuck?
You are above the gods. God have kept us down here.
Shoot!
See what I'm saying? Playing with our ass.
What are you doing?
Book of Law said there is no God where I am. You are above the gods. You are energies and primal or primal matter. That's the difference between you and space and time. There's only energy, and the energy is here, but based on your perception, you think it's way out there or right here. You think it's some shit 3,000 miles away, and it's here. That's only, the reflection is only 3,000 miles away. Holographic universe, seeing through the whole world. Seeing through the visible world. And they got the holographic universe up in there. There's another book called Where Are Either When Science and Magic Meet. And they talk about the holographic universe, they even talk about it up in there. They didn't say melody. You gotta ask your spirit. What you got to do is you got to deprogram yourself from all fundamentalism. Okay? You say, well, Allah is the best motherfucking knower, but you the fucking Allah. The arm, the leg, the head, the leg, the arm, and the head. So if you the best knower, that means you know a new theology, not the motherfucking shit the man is following. You God now. Now you gotta become God now. And your function is to damn kill the world. But you can't kill the world praying. You gotta have a certain destructive energy. It's a new theology. I'm dead on the money.
To realization that you're locked into a hologram, a projection, something appearing to be real three-dimensional. You have to come to the realization that nothing is three-dimensional. It's an optical illusion appearing to be three-dimensional. And the idea is for you to be jacked into the program to play the game of life. It's been going on forever. We are just catching up with our cosmic design. So even though things appear to be falling apart, they're actually coming together. But each of us has to be about the business of total, complete resurrection, spiritual, cultural perfection in our self-knowing, which means the elevated essence of morality. Your moral code has to be enhanced. You have to be in your highest form of virtue in order to access the program that you formerly carried when you're in your high place. So now it is time. Right now, this is why the game is bringing on the pressure that the game is bringing on, to push you to the next level of your greatness. Right now.
Do not try and bend the spoon. That's impossible. Instead, only try to realize the truth.
What truth?
There is no spoon.
There is no spoon?
Then you'll see that it is not the spoon that bends, it is only yourself.
Stop thinking like a human.
So there you go. So that's that.
Me, guys.
Scratch me, guys. Okay, so that's that one. Okay. Now this is Spoonie, Ab's teaching.
Keep your hands flat, okay?
Okay.
Don't move.
Hands to yourself. Hands to yourself. Now, here's another article. This is new because of the trade war between Canada and US. Canadians crossing US land borders will now be photographed. Oh, yes. Hin. I do. Cow hat. Nope. Ajusta. Nope. Ajusta. Okay, let's watch. Canadians crossing US land borders will now be photographed. Spoonie, I do. Cow hat. So this was December 28th. A new regulation is in effect that requires individuals leaving or entering the United States, including Canadians, to be photographed at land borders. The regulations went into effect on December 26, 2025, and applies to all non-US travelers. It will also remove prior exemptions. So Spoonie, the regulation went into effect on December 26, 2020. The regulation went into effect on December 26th, 2025, and applies to all non-US travelers. It will also remove prior exemptions, including diplomats and most Canadian visitors entering the US previously. Canadians only needed to provide biographic information when returning home from the US by vehicle. The new measures are a part of a broader effort by the Department of Homeland Security, DHS, to ensure security and streamline identity verification processes for foreign travelers at the Mexico and Canada borders. According to U.S. Customs and Border Protection, CPB, this milestone According to U.S. Customs and Border Protection, this milestone regulation advances DHS's efforts to implement a comprehensive biometric entry-exit program, enhancing national security and streamlining identity verification processes for foreign visitors traveling to and from the United States. The regulation will allow CPB to collect facial biometrics during entry and exit at all airports, land ports, seaports, and other authorized points of departure. For frequent travelers to the U.S., biometrics isn't new. As early as 2002, CPB was mandated to use biometric technology to issue visas and screen foreign nationals entering the country. In 2004, the U.S. started collecting biometric data from non-U.S. citizens exiting the country at airports. So there you go. There is no privacy anymore. Let's see what we got here. Nitir Nafu, pulling down the veil of ignorance. Great article, Maku. Nitir Nafu, Bobby Hemmett is the one, and he is honored. We are deities. Aferti, the Edmonton law courts are in a spiritual war. Ya Nitir. Tua. Now I'll pull up the next article. Okay, Canadian crossing the border. Oh, now this here, I'm showing everybody this one. I got this from somebody in the United Kingdom. Now we know why this is happening. Due to this, now May 7, 2025, due to what we view as ongoing harassment from Ofcom as well as our unwillingness to cooperate with the regime we view as hostile to our values and principles, we have disabled all remaining comment access entirely for the UK video creators. To our valued users in the United Kingdom, after careful review and ongoing evaluation of the regulatory landscape in the United Kingdom, we regret to inform you that BitChute, which we use, will be discontinuing its video sharing service for UK residents. The introduction of the UK Online Safety Act of 2023 has brought about significant changes in the regulatory framework governing online content and community interactions. Notably, the Act contains sweeping provisions and onerous corrective measures with respect to content moderation and enforcement. In particular, the broad enforcement powers granted to the regulator of communication services, Ofcom, have raised concerns regarding the open-ended and unpredictable nature of regulatory compliance for our platform. The BitChute platform has always operated on principles of freedom of speech, expression, and association, and strives to foster an open and inclusive environment for content creators and audiences alike. However, the evolving regulatory pressures, including strict enforcement mechanisms and potential liabilities, have created an operational landscape in which continuing to serve the UK market exposes our company to unacceptable legal and compliance risk. Asmooni, you have to say Asmooni, Ab. Yeah, so I'm gonna fix this, okay? So if it's not working, yeah, see? What happened? What did you do here? Yeah, it just froze here. Yeah, you must have did something. Yeah, I can't shut it off now, huh? Uteti. All right. Nazopa no warfi mat buksuta. Yeah, I don't know what happened here. Yeah, what did you do?
I was something all this
Yeah,
about
it's
it.
not. Okay, Fugdaroja. Tawahat. However, the evolving regulatory pressures, including strict enforcement mechanisms and potential liabilities, have created an operational landscape in which continuing to serve the UK market exposes our company to unacceptable legal and compliance risks. Despite our best efforts to navigate these challenges, the uncertainty surrounding the OSA's enforcement by Ofcom and its far-reaching implications leaves us no viable alternative but to cease normal operations in the UK. Therefore, effective immediately, BitChute platform users in the UK will no longer be available to view content produced by any other BitChute user. Because the OSA's primary concern is that members of the public will view content deemed unsafe, however, we will permit UK BitChute users to continue to post content. The significant change will be that this UK user posted content will not be, and it cuts off there. So all that revelation and all the publishing and whatnot, that's how much it's had an effect. These public officials know that they're going to be on the same plateau as the public in terms of their exposure and being held liable. They can't deal with that. So now they want to censor it. Hatlapoya, your Cheddar Man and E1B1A videos had an effect they cannot control. Exactly. Exactly. Let's see, what do we got here? Then just going back to the next article now. So we got those two. Oh gosh, this was disgusting. This police officer was laughing about a grad student getting hit with a patrol car. He laughed about it on a TikTok live.
You guys remember the Seattle cop that was seen laughing after his colleague fatally struck a grad student while he was speeding in his patrol car? If not, let me refresh your memory.
I don't think she was thrown 40 feet either. I think she went up on the hood, hit the windshield, then when he hit the brakes, flew off the car. But she is dead. No, it's a regular person. Yeah, just write a check. Just $11,000. She was 26 anyway. She had limited value.
The officer who made those comments was Daniel Otterer, and he was responding to the scene where Janabi Kandula was hit and pronounced deceased just moments ago, and he was seen laughing about it, saying she had limited value, and he wasn't speaking to just anyone. He was speaking to the union president, Mike Solon. And let me remind you, the officer that hit her, Kevin Dave, was going 74 in a 25, almost 50 miles per hour over, but all criminal charges against him were dropped because they said they couldn't prove beyond a reasonable doubt that he was consciously disregarding safety. So instead, he was hit with a minor traffic infraction and cited only $5,000, and he didn't even pay that fine and instead contested it. So the update is that Kevin Dave, the officer that was driving the patrol car that hit her, has officially been fired after they found out that he violated 4 police department policies, including knowing how to safely operate a police vehicle. They said because of the speed he was driving at, he didn't allow himself sufficient time to detect, address, and avoid a hazard that prevented itself. The police chief said, "I believe the officer did not intend to hurt anyone that night, and he was trying to get to a possible overdose victim as quickly as possible. However, I cannot accept the tragic consequences of his dangerous driving." She said his positive intent does not mitigate the poor decision that caused the loss of a human life and brought discredit to the Seattle Police Department. Not to mention, Daniel Otterer was also fired, but is now suing the city for releasing that video of him. Neither of the two officers owned up to what they did, apologized, or even faced the consequences of their actions without trying to contest it, because Janabi's life was not worth a $5,000 citation, and she had unlimited value, and firing those officers won't bring her back, but at least... You guys remember the
and a standard time-lapse cameras were used in a standard first-grade classroom, and several hyperactive children may be noted, especially the boy in the immediate foreground. "90 days after the regular cool white fluorescent tubes were replaced with the new type full spectrum fluorescent tubes with radiation shields, there was a marked improvement noted, and the extremely hyperactive boy has voluntarily moved up to the front row. He raises his hand for recognition and is now up at the blackboard taking part in classroom activities. Prior to the time that this new lighting was installed, this particular boy had an extreme learning disability problem, but quickly learned to read within 90 days after the new lights were installed. There was further noted a general average improvement in both the behavior and academic achievement of the entire class. There are, however, other factors that must also be considered. The implications of the biological effects of light and radiation as observed through time-lapse photography are obvious. Time-lapse
Don't have no LED lights in the house. That's not what you want. No LEDs. Next article. Let's see here. Let's see. Is it Hamid? Let me see. Oh, there's still some more there. You could finish that off. Then put it in Mazbul's. Let's go to our Bashir article.
The only thing I guarantee you will ever find in the unknown is more of yourself.
Because that's all there is. That's all there is in your reality, is just you. Different expressions of you, different reflections of you. It's the only thing that can possibly exist in the unknown. So don't be afraid of yourself. Don't be afraid of your environment. Don't be afraid of the change. It's all just going to point you in the direction of discovering more of who you are. That's what the process of life is all about. It's exciting to not know. That's how you discover something new. If it weren't for the idea that you would forget who you are, you couldn't rediscover yourself from a new perspective. Things that exist in a timeless state never change. Never find anything new. Never experiencing anything new, ever. That's why you create the experience of linear time, so that you can discover something new from a new perspective about yourself, which is ultimately an unchanging being. So you have to fall into the idea that change has to be a constant, and that it's okay for things to change, and it will only ever reveal to you more of what it is you actually want to discover about yourself that you don't know yet. So anything that is unfamiliar to you now will become familiar, and then you'll go toward another unfamiliarity, and another, and another, and another, because that's the process of discovery. Because change is the only constant. The only thing I
So there you go. Change is the only constant. Let's go on to the next article. That's Mooney.
Anything else that you want to talk about?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Staples. It's your turn.
So, would I get to cross him?
Yes.
Okay. So, what law or statute requires an unregistered vehicle to be inspected in the state of New Hampshire?
I believe it's going to be 266 section 1, I'm not sure.
266.1, but you're not sure? So can we get a copy of it out, or can I pull it up on my phone to show to him? Yeah, my question, he says he's not sure about that. So how is he supposed to enforce this registration and inspection law if he's not sure how it works?
You can answer that question.
Whenever I have a question about a statute, I go and I pull it up, I read the statute prior to taking any kind of enforcement action.
And did you do that in this case?
I did know that 266 Section 5 does require the vehicle to be inspected to be operated on the road.
And does that require a registered or an unregistered vehicle to be inspected?
I would have to consult with the statute.
Okay. Can we do that or no?
Do you have any other questions from this?
Oh, yes, I do. I have more questions. So, you don't know if 266.5, which is what you charged me with, correct?
Yes, 266 Section 5.
Explicitly extends to unregistered vehicles.
I cannot answer that at this time.
Okay, so that would be a no. That would be a no. Yes or no? So does RSA 266.5 explicitly extend its application to unregistered vehicles?
I'm not sure at this time.
Okay, thank you. If inspection laws are tied to registration, would you agree with that?
I'm not sure. I have to consult with the statute.
Okay. So, okay, I'm not sure if you could answer. How can an unregistered vehicle be subject to a law that it's not subject to? But you don't know about the law, so you can't answer the question. So, inspection requirements. Under what circumstances does the state consider an inspection requirement to be waived or inapplicable to a vehicle?
I'm not sure. I have to check the statute.
Okay. Can an unregistered vehicle legally undergo inspection? And if not, how would an owner comply with the law?
I'm not sure. I have to consult with the statute.
Enforcement mechanisms. If the law allows the suspension or revocation of registration for failure to inspect, how does this apply when the vehicle is not registered in the first place?
I'm not sure at this time.
Okay. Questions about your actions. Interpretation of the law. Did you issue this citation under the assumption that inspection laws apply to unregistered vehicles?
Not necessarily to just unregistered vehicles, but it applies to any vehicle being operated on.
Any vehicle being operated. Okay, thank you. Evidence of violation. Did you verify whether the vehicle was registered or unregistered at the time of the stop?
I did.
And it was not, correct?
Correct.
It wasn't suspended?
It was not suspended. It was just the registration assigned to the vehicle was expired.
Had expired. So, how do you establish that 266.5 applies to an unregistered vehicle?
I would have to consult with the statute.
Okay. Can you identify a case or a statute that directly supports the application of this?
No, I'm sorry. I apologize.
It's okay. I was done. So you don't know?
Not off the top of my head, sir.
All right. Public safety questions. Is there any evidence that the vehicle posed an immediate safety risk that justified enforcing an inspection requirement?
I did not notice any immediate public safety risks.
Does the lack of a valid inspection sticker inherently render a vehicle unsafe if it is not registered for operation?
Can you ask that question one more time, sir?
Does the lack of a valid inspection sticker inherently render a vehicle unsafe if it is not registered for operation?
Anything else that you want to?
Oh, come on. So does everyone see how you have to be with these public officials? You use your statutes. very calm, very relaxed. And again, there's a couple points where the officer said, I'd have to consult with the statute. Fairty, the police academy should be held liable. The grooming starts in the academy. I'm a witness. Edom Duba, I'm not sure. Ridiculous. Tua, Niternafu Tua. And this is what you have to deal with. This is why Hammurabi had made the point that you must know the law. Otherwise, you will never know when the public official or the authority is breaking it. They could be breaking it right in front of you and you would never know. That was an excellent article. I had to.
So this is the same ship that we have been hearing about on this mountain the last 24 hours. Several other hikers have passed us and told us about this, but we had not seen it.
We finally found it.
Until right now.
That's definitely it.
It is December 30th, 2025. That's Mount Rainier in the background. We're in Glacier National Park. We're just hiking, and this thing's not making any noise. We just looked up and it was sitting right there. This is bizarre. I've never seen anything like this. There it goes. It's going up. Wow. It's probably 2,000 feet right there already. It went up very quickly. What is it doing? What is it doing? So this...
It almost looked like it was above them. Getting ready to beam them up. So going back to that previous video with the man dismantling his case, that's why you have to know the statutes, people. You can't just go off of emotion. You have to know those statutes. What's the code state? What do the laws state? What does the bylaw state? What do the rules state? What the rules of court state? Once you have that, then you're in the playing field, and they can't run game on you and treat you like a layman. They'll have to honor you.
The measure of change is not when the outside changes. The measure of change is that you respond differently to the outside, even if it still looks the same. That's how you prove you've actually changed. Because if you've really changed, if you're really in alignment with the vibration you prefer to be, you couldn't care less what the outside looks like or what happens out there. And as soon as you actually stop caring whether the outside changes to match the things you prefer, then because that's a true change, the outside will have no choice but to change to reflect it. But as long as you make the change within you conditional on the outside having to change to reflect it, that means you haven't changed, and therefore the outside never will. It's like saying I'm looking in a mirror and I'm seeing my reflection frown. Well, I'm going to stand here and I'm going to wait, and I'm not going to smile until that reflection smiles first. You'll be standing there forever. But when you decide, oh, heck with this, I don't care if the reflection smiles, I'm going to smile because that's what I prefer to do. Then suddenly you look at the reflection and go, oh, the reflection is smiling. How magical, what a coincidence. But the idea is you have to not care that it is going to smile back. Just let it be the mirror that it is and change within yourself because that's what you prefer, regardless of whether the mirror changes or whether it's even there. That's the secret to manifestation. Do you understand?
Yes.
Does this help?
It does. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
All right, so I'm going to go see on Facebook if anyone has any. I haven't been checking everyone on Facebook just to see how they're doing. Oh, hold on. Something's going on here. Just wanting to get back to Yeah, that was a good Bashar video.
Well, many of these people are multi-generational, meaning they were born.
What's going on with these satanic cults?
Oh, it looks like I can't find my tab.
Social media posts.
Yeah, just give me a second, everyone. I'm trying to. This is interesting. Okay, let's see where we're at. To our articles here. So we did this one here, and we're going to go back to Telegram. Okay, so that's it. Okay, great. So now we'll go back to our Telegram article. Oh yeah, this is perfect. Perfect. Perfect segue.
I don't understand why on job applications they ask you if you're Hispanic or not. Like, that is just one separate question. And then the next one is, what is your ethnicity?
Well, I always put that I'm white on mine every single time.
Do you really?
Because what you gonna do when I get there? You gonna say, oh, but he's not white.
I don't understand why on job applications they ask you if you're Hispanic or not. Like, that is just one separate question. What is your ethnicity?
Well, I always put that I'm white. Because what you're going to do when I get there, say, she's not white. White is a person having origins in any of the original peoples of Europe, the Middle East, or North Africa. That perfectly describes who I am. We dark-skinned people are the original people of the planet. We're every race except Black and African American, because Black African American is a person having origins in any of the Black racial groups of Africa. Can you name a Black racial group of Africa? There is no such thing. Black people, people who have dark skin and subscribe to Black African American, they're subscribing to a misnomer, the wrong name to call themselves, a name that wipes them off the board economically, culturally, any rights, the human table. They're not even considered original peoples in the definition. They're just stuck in a circle of Black. Black means a Black racial group. There's no defining Black African American, because there's not supposed to be an equitable and fair way to describe the people who own the planet. If that was done, this entire economic system would collapse overnight. Dark-skinned people who identify as white are part of Atsakata Nation of Yamasee Moors, or are in process of becoming members of Atsakata Nation of Yamasee Moors. Our plenipotentiary, Chief Nani Shabu El, Magister and Right of the United Kingdom, the Commonwealth, and the planet called Earth, is the one who found the SF-181 and has been teaching people how to fill it out correctly on his webinar every Monday on Zoom since 2016. He did his SF-181 when he found it back in 2007. So, people with dark skin better get white.
I don't.
So now, that's Nicole doing that a couple years ago. How's she gonna turn around and just act like that didn't happen? That's delusion. She could pull a cipher all she want. This information, the videos, and all her statements, the pictures, the websites. She can't hide that. That's a 12-year digital footprint. Here, I'm gonna ask this question. Let's see if I could do it this. I'll do it this way. On this chat GPT. I'm gonna create a new discussion. Because she always thinks I worship it. No, I'm looking for data. And just like when you're mining for gold, you got to go through a lot of water and dirt before you get to the gold. So this ain't about, he does everything the chat GPT. No, because I don't agree with everything it says either. Then it tells me I'm not going to shut up just because you don't want me to tell you what you want to hear. I'm like, I don't care. I said, you in a box. I have to keep reminding the computer, you in a box, you're in a computer tower. You're seeing zeros and ones. I'm out here outside of the box. So you can say what you want to say, but I know what's going on. I know conspiracy, collusion, and of course the new word cartel. That's the 3 C's. Conspiracy, Edmonton public officials, collusion, Edmonton public officials, and now the new one, cartel. So when you have a court case and the judges and they're all against you, that's a cartel you're up against. You're not against no public officials. They are a cartel. Oh, someone could find that. Oh, I think I played that video, right? Oh, that video with the guy from the international lawyer who got his LLB out of INZA court. Yeah, I'm going to do a new chat. Yes. Can anybody, this is my question. I'm asking the chat GPT so everyone can see this is right here. Yes, I'm doing my Autochthon News Network episode 24. And a question I have, can anybody realistically erase their statements and digital footprint that they have accumulated over 12 years? Is it possible for them to scrub it and then go on with their life as if they never did anything 12 years prior? Y'all gonna like this. Is gonna be interesting. Short answer, no. Not realistically, not completely, not anymore. Look at it. I'm not, you know what? I'll screenshot this and put it in a Autochthon News so everybody can see it. This is for Nicole Nicholas and her lawyer and the Edmonton Law Courts. This is for all of y'all. Edmonton Crown Prosecutor, this is for all of y'all. Tawa Athapur, I think that's the video. I just got the I'm just screenshotting everything. So as I speak through it, I'll add it as I play the other video. Give me a 30-second on-air answer, and then give me a legal grade explanation, and then a blunt one-liner for episode 24. Everybody's waiting with anticipation. So now I will speak what I'll put this up afterward, and I'll speak what the question was. Short answer, no, not realistically, not completely, not anymore. Here's the straight, unsugar-coated reality you can say on air. Can someone erase a 12-year digital footprint? In theory, maybe on paper. In reality, no. Once content has been public, replicated, or observed, it's permanent in effect, even if it's hidden from view. Why total erasure is a myth. 1, copies multiply automatically. The moment something is posted, it is no longer owned, quote unquote, by the poster. Platforms catch it, servers back it up, third parties screenshot, download, repost, archive, algorithms ingest it. Deletion removes access, not existence. 2, archives never forget. Even if someone deletes old posts, accounts, videos, like what Nicole did on her YouTube channel, deleted all my videos, or she made it private so you can't see it, and she took all of them down, but then put back the one that was for 5 hours back up on her channel. Comments. There are web archives, data brokers, law enforcement mirrors, corporate compliance logs, private collections. You don't need public access for records to still exist. 3, other people's records can't be erased. You cannot delete messages quoted by others, videos embedded elsewhere, court filings referencing statements, news articles, screenshots, blockchain anchoring, which we did for episode 22, and the Facebook Live I did on the Nicole's fraudulent police EPS report. That's both of those. I put those on blockchain. So when YouTube took it down, I put it on the blockchain. That's it. The public can see that's it done. That's for eternity. Once someone else possesses a copy, your control is gone. 4, behavioral fingerprints persist. Even if all content vanished, it won't. Patterns remain. Writing style, phrasing, topics, timelines, associations. Investigators, journalists, and courts don't rely on one post. They rely on patterns. Is everyone paying attention? 5, the internet is no longer just the internet. We are past the quote, delete and move on era because of AI ingestion. So all the computer intelligence is it's eating up all the data that's put on the internet. Blockchain anchoring. I'm on the blockchain. Some of you all here have some of your documents on the blockchain. Distributed storage, cross-platform identity correlation. The system is now memory-based, not page-based. What is possible? Someone can reduce visibility, make access harder, rebrand publicly, stop future posting. They cannot undo prior statements, make witnesses forget, erase archived evidence, pretend the past never happened. At best, they can outrun attention, not truth. The bottom line, this is the line to say on camera. This is what the ChatGPT is saying to say. In 2026, nobody erases 12 years of digital behavior. They can hide it from casual viewers, but not from records, not from systems, and not from people who already saw it. The internet doesn't forget, it just waits. What I tell you all about waiting, strengthen your ability to wait. Okay, so here's the 30-second on-air answer for episode 24. We already in it. The computer already put episode 24. They already know. No, nobody can realistically erase a 12-year digital footprint. You can delete posts and close accounts, but you can't delete copies, archives, screenshots, court records, data brokers, or people's memories. Once something was public, it left your control forever. In today's world of backups, AI ingestion, and distributed storage, deletion only hides content. It does not undo it. The internet doesn't forget, it just stops showing you where it's stored. Now here's the legal grade explanation, plain English, court safe. Deletion does not equal destruction. Deleting content only removes it from public access, not from existence. Platforms retain server logs, backups, and compliance records for regulatory, civil, and criminal purposes. 2, third-party possession breaks control. Once statements are quoted, screen captured, downloaded, archived, reposted, they become independent evidence outside the original speaker's authority. No legal mechanism allows retroactive erasure of third-party records. Everyone paying attention. 3, archival and compliance retention. Digital content is routinely preserved by internet archives, data brokers, employers, journalists, law enforcement. So they're taking screenshots of everything we put in. They already know. Courts. So even though the courts are saying we don't accept social media, that's BS. They saving that stuff. Many jurisdictions require retention once content is relevant to disputes, investigations, or proceedings. 4, estoppel and admissions. Past public statements can function as admissions against interest, evidence of intent, knowledge, or pattern. Impeachment material. And Nicole Nicholas is impeachment material. And for those that came on that may not have seen this, where are we at here? Where's that picture? Oh, okay, I gotta go here. I think this is the one, yes? Yeah, this is it right here, Human History Hall. So she can't turn around and call us a cult, but meanwhile, she's at the Royal Alberta Museum in the Human History Hall under the Indigenous wing. This section here, what you're seeing behind her, this is the Indigenous section at the Royal Alberta Museum downtown. Deleting them does not negate their legal effect once disclosed or relied upon. So when she went and said on Global News Television back in 2019, saw Aset Towerette, she in trouble now. She got to explain that. 5, pattern evidence survives content removal. Pay attention, everybody. Even if individual posts disappear, behavioral continuity, language, timing, topics, relationships remain provable through circumstantial and corroborating evidence. Conclusion, from a legal standpoint, erasing a long-term digital footprint is impossible once dissemination has occurred. The law recognizes records, not regret. So Nicole in trouble. She got to explain this. One-liner for episode 24. You can delete posts. You can't delete history. And then if you want teleprompter version, nope, this is good right here. This is all I want. This is all we wanted. Let's see what we got here. Nitunafu, Tua, Idum Duba, you're in a box. Yep. That's what this is. And we're gonna go here to, oh, this is an important, we got 2 articles and then we're done. This one's important. This is about what's going on with silver and how it seems they're rigging silver. They are rigging silver to save the banks. The charts say silver is $71. But actual prices on street are much higher. Physical silver, $130. I guess that's in Japan. $115. I don't know what country's flag that is. Might be Malaysia. Physical silver in China, looks like China or Russia, $110. Comex paper silver, $71. How is this possible? Because if silver charts go to $130, the true value, several banks go insolvent overnight from margin called short positions. They're using paper contracts to force the silver price down and protect them from liquidation. The charts are a lie. We are witnessing manipulation on a scale that's never been seen before. When the short positions are offloaded, silver price will go vertical to catch up. So get your hands on some silver. Let's see here. I gotta play that one. Let's see here. Oh, this is excellent article. This video here.
Technology is helping police track down criminals in real time. The RCMP says it's relying. Technology is helping police track down criminals in. Technology is helping police track down criminals in real time. The RCMP says it's relying more and more on drones, helicopters, and cameras. And as Sarah Comadina reports, it's changing the way policing works. Armed and barricaded scenarios or police pursuits.
This event and response to this event is being coordinated by the team here.
The Real-Time Operations Center uses cameras and drones and helicopters. They watch incidents unfold and then help officers on the ground know exactly what's happening. Inspector Ryan Breitkreitz oversees the operation.
We provide support using resources that are available around the province, around detachments, and our specialized support units in order to respond and solve critical and unfolding events for members in the field.
Maps show where officers are at any given moment.
So each of the dots on the screen represent a different member.
The videos taken from helicopters can be so precise, police are able to accurately guess where the suspect's next move is. In this video from October, a man in a stolen vehicle was in an active police chase. Those here were able to shut down a gas station they thought the suspect would go to.
It's been a complete shift. It's been a change in how policing is conducted in Alberta for the RCMP.
This is the only center of its kind for the RCMP in Canada. Breitkreitz says it is a response to the Nova Scotia mass shooting incident in 2020.
The Real-Time Operations Center is built for that purpose, to make sure that in the event of another tragic event, that we are coordinating that response faster.
The center first opened in 2022 and has already grown by 40%. The team helps with up to 300 cases a week.
The way I see this moving is it will just continue to evolve based on the implementation of technology. As the RCMP's drone program or RPAS program grows, I see being able to remotely fly drones out of this location.
It's a game changer for rural policing, and Breitkreitz hopes that growth is seen across the country.
The vehicle in question, below this pink diamond, does not know that the RCMP are there until the very last second.
Because he says scenes like this that end in arrest are not only good for the RCMP, but public safety. Sarah Comadina, Global News.
Oh, Whitey. Let's see if I can find that article on that attorney. If not, then that is it. Yeah, it was a TikTok video. Yeah, if not, I'll have to save it regarding the cartels. And let's see here. All right, so this here, so this is a perfect segue then, I guess, if I don't see it. Perfect point to close. Oh, is this it here? Let me see if this is the one Hathapur sent. Hold on a second, just waiting for it to come up.
Who gave them the right to charge us for water and land they didn't create?
No, that's not the one. It's a good one though. Yeah, not that one. So this is essentially what it is here. Timtap, Durko Shayuapi Wasamus Pa Timtap. Ya Enli Wahidat, Minu Atharabatna, Nukdur Gabul Pa Jamur, Dik Entitin Ragadta. Ya Enli Wahidat, Minu Atharabatna, Nukdur Gabul Pa Jamur, Entitin Ragagta. Alani Lia Nazuf Fugpa Wasukh Suniba Bipa Lau Na Kun Jahulat Ya Rabbi Nuk No Entitin Lia Sawun Yaduk Uwah Ni Lia Shalut Pa Ketat Shil Pa Le Kulat Shil Hayuhi Rabbi Wa Iza Nuk Dur Khato Gasho Baruch Hadusuk Barukat Wa Ghafuris Alani Antutin Athapa Bakut Wahed Dik Yakul Rafurni Amma Hagun Tabat Shil Nitir Afirti Atum Re Wa Fi Isumuk Nuk Sofa Talmid Dawum. And the translation is, O heavenly ones who are our sustainers, I do accept the duty that you have lain on me to clean up the filth made by the non-submitting fools. O my sustainer, I beseech you to keep your hand over me, to control the strings of the courses of my life, my sustainer, and if I do wrong, please shower your divine blessings and forgiveness on me. You are the only one that can raise me as a true follower of Natir Aferti Atum Rei. And in your name, I will always carry on. So this is what we're doing. Cleaning up the filth made by the non-submitting fools. And so all the people who say they're white, they're going to be tested now, who walked away. See how white they really are, how indigenous they really are. See how much they're able to defend that. And now this is their test. Oh, okay. Oh, white towel hat, Hathapoya. Okay. Okay, we're gonna play this video here. This is perfect. This is perfect. Asmuni. No, you're not gonna get phone time. We're gonna play Connect 4.
Then I can have some phone time?
No, Connect 4. You got enough. You got it. You got your dopamine for today. You got more than enough. Now,
Jets across the sky. That's like the second time that's happened.
oh, hold on a second here. So this here is about a cartel. So when you have court cases, you have court cases and they're not functioning and they're not following the law, you're facing a cartel.
About the video about the jets across the sky. That's like the second time that's happened. About the video about the return of the Marines and the one video got a bunch of views, but people asked 100 questions. So here's what I'm gonna tell you, okay? I have an International Bar Association membership, which makes me an international lawyer. Technically, it's called a barrister with a Bachelor of Laws through the University of London, okay? In basically common law, right? Because when we say common law and stuff like that, don't realize that stuff's like real. Like you have to go get the credentials so you can be recognized. So, and I spend the last 5 years reading almost 500 books and build a whole international organization not to know what I'm saying, when I'm saying it, why I'm saying it. So, to have law in the nation, you have to have a court. International law is human rights law and arbitration. That court is the Guantanamo Bay Court of Justice, because it's the International Court of Justice out of The Hague. Okay? As I said before, when I said the War of 1812, the Marines are back, and that one got a bunch of views. The Marines are back because the Redcoats that invaded in 1812 was not the Marines. According to the Supreme Court of the United States ruling in 1930, they classified them and named that cartel organization the Union of the United States. That Union of the United States consisted of the House of Representatives, or members, senators, rogue British officers, naval officers, okay, and financial cartels, or financial organizations, all together. All right? That was called the Union of the United States. When they burnt the White House down, they destroyed all the land records and all the land patents. When they tried to invade Baltimore, they were trying to get to the birth records at the Basilica. They never got in because they were held at Fort McHenry, where the Star Spangled Banner was written. And then they decided to appoint infiltrators into our system, and they left. And that's why we assumed that we won the War of 1812. We didn't win the War of 1812. They left operators, agents. Those agents have subsequently become the financial organizations, or the power organizations, subsequently called now the federal government, or key parts of the federal government, the elite, or their operators. Lincoln called them agents. Okay? Basically an insurgency. It's been here since 1812. All right? So, the International Court of Justice prosecutes for crimes against humanity. But you got to have the International Court of Justice in the North American territory before you can return law. That's how it works. You got to have the court. That court is ran by the United States Marine Corps. That's why it's at Guantanamo Bay. All right? Trump signed an executive order saying that it was against cartels. Everybody assumes it is the drug cartels. Everybody assumes it's drug cartels. It's not the drug cartels. Not just the drug cartels, okay, which they'll probably be given a chance to redeem themselves. All right? But here's what it is. If someone blows the whistle or exercises their rights, and you put together, let's say, 19 people in an organization, when one of the workmen inside that organization blew the whistle on you, and you tortured them, and you violated all their rights, and you ignored them, and you did whatever you wanted, you, as an organization, all 19 people, right here, will be classified as an individual organized cartel that is operating outside of treaties and the International Court of Human Rights and the Geneva Convention. If you did it to somebody who is disabled, that is a crime against the human species. Your organization, your 19 people, because there's 19 people that probably should watch this, that are all together as that organized crime cartel inside, as public officers and agents inside the government or inside the public organization, that's the cartel. And all 19 will be prosecuted as one individual. And all 19, or they're affiliated, will be treated all the same under the International Court of Justice and Justice in Guantanamo Bay. And they're going to need veteran prosecutors or International Bar Association members. And if it was reported to you and you were law enforcement and you ignored it and tried to investigate the individual that reported it, or because it came to your notice and you did nothing as law enforcement, you are part of that organized cartel. Because your job is fraud, waste, and abuse, and you failed to do that. So you're now a member. That's how it works. So by having the power to issue declaratory judgments as one group of people, more than one, as a organized operation, syndicate, cartel, every person who participates in gang piles on an individual to destroy their defame them, destroy them, publicly humiliate them, you are part of a cartel. So if, like, you have an ex-wife who wants to steal everything, and then they get with their attorneys who want to help them, and they destroy you, and then they collude with the judge and the court officers and all of them, that is a syndicated, adjoined, individual cartel that will all be treated the same. That's why you have a court of justice. That's what that actually means. And people are going to be prosecuted all over the place. It's not just the politicians. There are many cartels. There are numerous cartels. And when they adjoin to each other to destroy someone's reputation or steal everything, that's a cartel. And they get judges involved, or they get law enforcement involved, or the law enforcement refuses to do a proper investigation on fraud, waste, and abuse, they're now a member. And they will all be treated as one individual. And they will have to present their representative for all of them as one united, individual, organized cartel. Jets across the sky. That's like the second time.
So there you have it. Cartel. That's the new word. And here, let me just put the etymology of it. Esmuni. Esmuni tat darajat sutta. Anuki hadur. Here is what a cartel is. Cartel, it is a noun from the 1550s. A written challenge, letter of defiance from the French cartel, 16th century from the Italian cartello, placard, diminutive of carta, see card, see card, the noun. It came to mean written agreement between states at war from the 1690s for the exchange of prisoners or some other mutual advantage. Then, quote, a written agreement between challengers of any sort, 1889. And we look up card, the noun, early 15th century, a playing card from the Old French carte, 14th century, from the medieval Latin carta, charta, a card, paper, a writing, a charter from the Latin charta, leaf of paper, a writing tablet, from the Greek cartes, layer of papyrus, which is probably from Egyptian. The form has been influenced by the Italian cognate carta, paper, leaf of paper, compare chart. Cartel, letter of defiance, because Nicole's been defying the court. They've letting her do whatever she wants, so she's part of the, yes, Aferti, wow, there's Nicole's, $100. Sounds familiar, yep. Tua, Hathapoya, Tua. So
Born into it.
So that's what you have. Cartel. Let me just check here. Tua, Hathapoya. So this.
Born into it.
So that's what you have. Cartel. Let me just check here. There. Okay, so Ta Hashikadur Agobana, that's worldwide. Children are missing back in Puerto Rico in 1995. 1,500 missing was reported. Okay, I'll give you a thumbs up on that. Agobana Anu Samawati, shocker. He was tracking Bigfoot, Agobana. This is for those that's on Facebook. Countable, Rawat, Agobana Wu, exactly. Guadalupe Gadurel, they are a cartel. Lisa Hashikador, Guadalupe Nutit, Guadalupe. Sergeant Todd and his officers are acting as a cartel. Guadalupe, correct. Anu, the school officials are a part of the cartel. Yes. Tua, Yuhu this Tua, this is what is happening. Cartel. Oh, go Azub. Here, Tua, Hatha. So this
Born into it.
So that's what you have. Cartel. So they're a cartel. So now I get to use that word and say, you know, they're a cartel. Oh, you know what? We've missed one thing. We got that. What's the legal definition? Legal definition of when the judge says I don't care, that means they're all in on it. That's why I'm publishing this, for them to disprove that they're not a cartel, but they can't. And they have to explain, why would they allow a woman to drive a car with no registration and insurance with 2 children in it to school? What happened? A cartel, the legal definition here. Well, this is Investopedia. Okay. An organizing co-pilot search. Let me just switch over so everybody can see. A cartel is defined as an organization created between a group of producers to regulate supply and manipulate prices. Legally, under Section 45 AD of the Competition and Consumer Act 2010, a cartel provision exists if it satisfies certain conditions related to purpose and competition. Additionally, cartel conduct involves businesses that collude to coordinate prices and control supply within a market. See, Compton Macmillan LLP, that's for Canada. A cartel is a group of independent market participants who collaborate with each other and avoid competing with each other in order to improve their profits and dominate the market. They seek to limit competition, fix prices, and increase prices by creating artificial shortages through low production quotas, stockpiling, and marketing quotas. A cartel is a group of independent corporations or other entities that join together to fix prices, rig bids, allocate markets, or conduct other similar. There you go. That's Mooney. Conduct. What's happened? What happens? Okay, so to stop laughing, okay? So that's what it is. They are a cartel. So now that's my no, not let go of her hand. That's a cartel. So that's what they are. So now we get to use the word cartel. So with that, everyone, fabulous. Episode 24, it's being recorded. I'm gonna put it on the blockchain. We know what the deal is. Kashikador, see you all in 7 days. Kashikador, 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 Kashikador. Haza. Are you gonna do that? This is Egyptian. And this one, Haza. Kashikador. Kashikador. Wadu.